So you can see the total card value, even with the annual fee, is insane. It's super, super good. Hey, what's up, everyone? I'm going to make a few assumptions because you clicked on this video. I'm going to assume that you enjoy traveling. I'm also going to assume that you are looking into different travel credit cards. I'm going to show you today an empirical method that you can know which card that you should choose without any shadow of a doubt based on math. And let's first look at the different cards that I am going to discuss today, the Chase Sapphire Preferred and the Chase Sapphire Reserve. I've actually had both cards. I started with the Preferred and then I recently switched to the Reserve. And I was able to do that just based on not my emotional decisions, not based on what I think would be a better card for me, but based on math and based on my budget and what I actually spend. You'll always see there's always these sexy like sign up bonuses for 60,000 points, which is really great. I actually didn't get any bonus when I changed from the Preferred to the Reserve. But if you're just starting out and you're just getting a card, that's actually a huge incentive. But the most important thing is to not get caught up in the bonus points. But the most important thing is to always check the annual fee. The Preferred has an annual fee of $95. The Reserve has an annual fee of $550. And that might be a big sticker shock. I know it was for me. When I first saw that, I was like, that is insane. Who would ever do that? I can't afford that. And so I actually started with the Preferred, but it actually makes more sense for me now to have the Reserve. And the way that I know that the Reserve makes more sense for me currently is because of this calculator. It's called thepointscalculator.com. I'll have it linked in the description, but you can check it as well. And basically, what you do, you just enter your information for what you spend based on these different categories. And at the very end, at the very bottom line, it'll say, this is the total card value. So for me, currently, based on my spending, I get a value of $1,621 per year with the Reserve. And I would get the value of $481 with the Preferred. So looking at this calculator, we need to take a look at all the different categories. So they have like Lyft, they have restaurant and dining, online groceries, streaming, travel. So these are different categories that these two cards have extra benefits for. I use a personal finance software called Personal Capital. I think it was recently bought by Empower, but it's great to track all of your expenses. So automatically, it'll just track with my credit cards what I'm buying. And you can see my number one expense over the past 5 years from March 1st, 2019 to March 1st, 2024 has been travel. So I put my money where my mouth is. When I say I like traveling and that I travel a lot, I do. And anyways, so looking at the calculator, it'll ask, how much money do you spend on Lyft? Well, I can go here, I can click on travel, I can click on Lyft. And over the past 5 years, I've spent $1,583. So if I take that amount, divide it by 5, I can put that in here. That's how much I spend on Lyft each year. And that's what I did. I went through my personal capital expense report and I basically just went through. I saw how much I spend on restaurants. I found how much I spend on groceries, on streaming services. I actually don't use streaming services. And I plugged it in for each. By default, it's always going to be on monthly. So just switch that over to yearly. And for travel, again, I was almost 40,000 over 5 years. And I broke it down per year and I enter it on both sides. So the left side, remember, this is the Reserve. The right side is the Preferred. Going through Chase Dining, that's dining through the Chase platform. I don't use that. Car rentals, I don't use that. Hotels through the Chase Ultimate Rewards, I actually do use that. So you can see I've used 391 on average per year. Getting airlines through there, no, I don't do that. And these are all my other expenses. So outside of the traveling and the dining and the Lyft and all those different things, I spend about $15,000 with my credit card. So I'll plug this in for both. And this will give me just like a real quick, the amount of points that I would earn and how much they're worth if I were to spend them on Chase's Ultimate Reward portal. I would have over 52,000 points with the Reserve, and I'd have 42,000 with the Preferred. But wait, there's more. So say that you're signing up for a card for the first time. You're going to get the reserve. That's an extra 60,000. Or if you do it through the preferred, that's an extra 60,000. I'm going to keep this blank for a second because for me, I didn't have a sign up bonus. I had the preferred and I switched to the reserve. You can only have one card at a time. And when you switch, they don't give you the bonus point. But for me, that was fine. I like the card. So, and also with the preferred, you actually get 10 points bonus back each year. So I'm going to go ahead and select that. And that's for everything that I entered up above. It'll give an extra 10%. So that's a good perk. Going down, it just kind of gives you this running tally. But then we can just keep on going. For the reserve, the value per cent is 1.5. For the preferred, 1.25. And you can see here's a cash amount for how much these points would be worth. But let's keep going. Let's keep rolling. Here is monetary bonuses. So this is extra. I entered $980 here, and that is because I have gotten that much value from the priority pass, which is one of the perks to get into airport lounges and restaurants and all those different things. I've gotten that much money in less than 1 year with just the priority pass, and that is only a part of the reserve, not a part of the preferred. So I'm going to include that because I have gotten that value. And also with the reserve, you get a $300 travel credit per year. So that is already included. And I've also used it to get the global entry, which is $100. So I've entered that here. The global entry includes TSA PreCheck. So always get global entry and not TSA PreCheck, especially if the credit card's going to pay for it. That was $100 and I got that for free. It lasts for 5 years. And yeah, so I have that extra $100 value. For the preferred, you get a $50 hotel credit every year, and you can put that towards you have to use it in the Chase Ultimate Rewards travel portal. I would use it. It's really great. Okay, so look here, boom. So you can see here the total cash value. It's starting to be pretty high for the reserve. If I were to remove this priority pass numbers, you can see it's already pretty high, but I'm going to go ahead and plug that back in. I think it's actually closer to 1,000. I'll just round it up, make it an even number. And we keep on going. So after we look at these fees, this is the bottom line thing, the most important thing, arguably, remember that I talked about in the beginning, the thing that I looked at, the $550 annual fee. Like, whoa, no one could ever afford that. How could I afford that? That's crazy. Well, look here, bottom line, total card value based on all of my spending habits, based on all of the benefits. Each year, I get a total card value of $1,641. And that's just with my spending that I currently do. With the preferred, I would get $514 worth of value. And that is not too shabby at all. But let's say that you also sign up for one of these cards with the bonus. So 60,000, that's the current going rate for both cards. 60,000, and we'll go back down. What's the total card value? For me, if I was signing up, I would get $2,541 worth of value from the reserve. From the preferred, I would get $1,264. So you can see the total card value, even with the annual fee, is insane. It's super, super good. And the reason for me, the thing that really tipped me over the edge is the extra card value from the priority pass. So let me go back over and show you how I've gotten so much value, about $1,000 worth in less than 1 year. All right, so the priority pass, this is what I call the X factor. This is what made me choose the reserve over the preferred, just because of this perk alone. Not to mention, I get other value from additional points in travel or whatever. But this is the one that really tips the scale for me. And the reason is you can use this priority pass to get into lounges in airports for free all over the world. There's over 1,500 currently, and they're continuing to add more. And these lounges are amazing. They're so like classy and high quality. I'm a minimalistic, like very cheap, frugal guy. I would never pay to go into one of these. And I always look up in the airports and looking at the people like, wow, that must be nice. Like they must be rich. They must be flying first class. No, to be honest, they probably just have a priority pass. And I've actually discovered that that's the majority of people that go to the lounges and all these different things. A lot of them are the priority pass holders. And beyond the lounges, they also have things they call experiences or like restaurants as well. But some of the experiences are spas. So you can get massages for free. They have places called Gameway, and this is where you can play video games for free. Looking at the lounges, I'm going to give an example. I was recently in Barcelona, and they have some really nice lounges in their airport. And I went to one of them called the Sala VIP Lounge. You can see they have a couple of them or a few of them, but I looked it up. It cost 34 euros for an adult to go into those lounges. Well, I had someone with me. The cool thing is that my card works for me, but also a guest. Actually, two guests for lounges. So I could have brought two other guests with me in for free. I only had one, so the two of us went in. That's about $37 per adult in USD. And so that was $74 worth of value. We spent over 3 hours there, and I can't even tell you how much I ate. It was almost embarrassing how much I just kept going back and getting more and more food and drinks. And it was amazing. The food was delicious. I actually packed up a couple sandwiches. I took some cookies and I put it in my little Ziploc bags and I took it on the plane with me because it was a long plane ride back home after that. But that was just the first example I want to give is a lounge. The next is an example of a restaurant that I've been able to go to. Priority Pass has a number of restaurants that you can spend up to a certain amount of money. In the US, it's typically around $28 per person, and you can use it for two people. So if it's you and a guest, your guest doesn't have to have the Priority Pass, they're just with you. And so you could get a total of $56 off of your bill if you go to a restaurant. So I went to this exact place in Washington, D.C., Chef George's, and it was great. I ordered the most expensive thing on the menu. It was some like Mediterranean dish, but it came under the amount of the $28. So it was free. And that does not include tip. I did tip, so always have some cash. But yeah, that is an example of a restaurant that you can go to. The next one is a Gameway Lounge. This is pretty cool. They don't have them in a lot of airports. I think they have them in three, but I was able to go to the one in LAX, and you can see on the right there, it has that little sign. It says Priority Pass members welcome. And it was so cool. I have to say, I'm kind of a nerd. I made a video on this about how you can play video games in the airport for free. So I'll put that down in the description if you want to learn a little bit more about it. But basically, yeah, you just go in and I got to play. I played Xbox for an hour. You can choose between PlayStation, Xbox, PC, and they'll also give you a free snack and a free drink. So that was just amazing. Like I never expected to do that in an airport. It's probably the most fun I've ever had in an airport. And I had to set an alarm for myself because I almost missed my flight. I was just so deep into gaming and just kind of zoned out. Had a lot of fun doing that. And the last thing I did, I actually went to one of those spas. And if you go to one of these spas, it typically costs about 35 bucks to get a 30-minute massage. You can do that either by having a person give you a massage or sit in one of these chairs. These chairs are amazing. I sat in one and it was after a long, long flight from Japan. And I was sore, I was tired, and this felt so good. I almost fell asleep. And it was actually cool. They gave me an extra 15 minutes. So I actually got 45 minutes of a really awesome massage in this like futuristic chair for free. And it was just amazing. So looking at the priority pass, if you were to pay for this, not having a credit card with the Chase Preferred or Reserve, or there are others like Amex or Capital One, whatever, they also offer priority pass. You can see the prices. It gets really pricey. Basically, for the card that you get with these Chase cards, you get the prestige class, meaning you can get in for free. You can have your guests come in for free, and they value it at about a $35 value per visit. So I've used the Priority Pass 29 times at $35. That's about $1,000 worth of value I've gotten just from the Priority Pass. And that's amazing. That's not including global entry and all those other things that I've added on. So that's how, looking back at that calculator, how I'm able to justify the reserve over the preferred. And so there you go. There you have it. That's my breakdown. That's how I know 100% that the reserve is a better card for me at this point in my life because of the amount of travel I do and because especially of utilizing the priority pass. That's kind of like the main thing for me. But for you, go check out that calculator. The link is in the description. If you want a link to all of the different things that I talked about, down in the description, I have links to everything. I have something called the Ultimate Gear List. That's a read-only Google Doc that I have basically everything that I use, all of my gear, all of my tech, all of the finance things, everything that I like and everything that I use. I have a little picture, I have the product, I have a link to that product so you can go and research it for yourself. If there's a sign-up bonus, I list that or how much it costs approximately, as well as a description as to why I like that product. So I have included the Chase Sapphire Reserve and the Chase Sapphire Preferred links. If you use the link to sign up that I have down there, you get 60,000 bonus points and I get a little kickback. So that'd be cool, but you don't have to. I want this video to be informative more than anything and really go do your own research. As well, I have the Empower and Personal Capital. That's the finance budgeting tool that I showed off. If you sign up with the link down there, you get 20 bucks off. Again, you don't have to. Just go do your own research. And remember to check out that link to the calculator because that's the way that you'll 100% know which card is best for you. I hope you found this helpful. Thanks for watching.